what is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the second album by American industrial metal band Fear Factory, based on this particular project. It's called Demanufacture, and it came out in the late spring of 1995. So within Fear's by here, as far as this pitching album, this is the follow-up to the hit album by Fear Factory, Fear is the Mind Killer, as far as this pitching album. So within the phrase, kind of amongst it here, I reviewed a couple of Fear Factory albums pitched like that. Not a terrible many, but I'm going to start getting towards more of this band down I'm going to start getting more towards this band down the phrase for this pitching. I at least reviewed Obsolete from 1998, and then Digimortal from 2001. As far as these fairs going to happen. The pitch first saying the fair about particular Fear Factors, the pitch first saying that they kind of have like certain degrees of commercial type appeal, but it's always kind of in a more brewing and molten type aspects for these first games. The pitch first saying is popular industrial metal, especially as far back as 1995. This was kind of the pitch. This is before a certain type phrase. Marilyn Manson was starting to get towards some of this cage night and kind of industrial metal typeness, but really Portrait of an American Family from 1994 was kind of more alt type metal within pitch, like a good spooky type factor within pitch like that. But some of those type ones, when you think of like particular you think of some of those hit type ones like Get Your Gun and Lunchbox versus Frisk album. It's been a little bit since I full bound listened to that particular album within the full array of it pitch like that. But hit type phrase for some of those type ones, the singles off particular Portrait of American Family is kind of more in the alt metal, this kind of spook type fair, just a little bit more rhythmic type corn type aspects pitch like that. But hit type phrase for us saying this is some flares that kind of has the aspect of kind of getting towards like some techno and industrial metal type bangs pitch like that. And it seemed like the only other type folks that were kind of within this sort of jump around this particular time was just White Zombie, which was kind of shoring up in their final days of kind of missed the fray of like Astro Creep 2000. And then also you had traces of like particular like Power Man 5000s. They were starting to kick off in like the mid 90s pitch like that. So this phrase first and with some good products here for 1995. This is pretty fantastic within pitch like that. It's kind of the product of some of these type ones. It's getting to us that initial type jump, because yeah, I would probably say apart from White Zombie with Astro Creep, it's kind of the fairest first, and some of these type bangs on here are pretty ahead of the times, which is kind of the pitch for us saying it's the same fair. Obviously it was pretty hitting within those pitches. That was like a good commercial type fray for Fear Factories for those pitching. I have some of those type ones like Descent and Cars and particular other type ones. A few other type ones off there like particular Resurrection and Edge Crusher were pretty good as well. Actually pretty breakout type album. I continue to listen to a number of songs off that album, particularly Descent and Edge Crusher. It's been a little full bound type since I listened to Edge Crusher, but definitely Descent, Cars, and Edge Crusher pitch like that. So one's good pitches I need to fuck with and throw a lot more songs from that album off there pitch like that. But it's a real breakout type album, good pitch like that. Just kind of the fair amongst that particular album is it's kind of like a sleeping giant of an album as far as this pitch album. But the pitch as far as this particular fair is the aspects for us saying that this is just a trendy type one, that is just a good look pitch like that, has some industrial typeness off here, some club rumbles, and definitely like a cage night type format. So definitely fucking with particular songs by Marilyn Manson like The Beautiful People, and kind of traces of like the traces like Fight sung by Marilyn Manson off of Hollywood Sons to pitch like that. It's those cage night type of wrestling night, UFC type fairs pitch like that. Sons that once has this in particular spades. It's a good nice product to like some prolific kind of blood boilers and pumping type energy within pitch like that. But it's the fairs for us saying this has traces of groove metal. Wikipedia says this is groove metal in certain sense. I feel like the hooks on here, the fair amongst this album is as far as saying it does, like even though this is kind of an underground type album for the most part type sense, it has some couple, it has the, like 2 or 3 or 4 rise aboves off here in pitches like that, but it's kind of fair as far as saying that this has like good effect. There's a good effectualness amongst the chorus as far as getting towards some of these type ones. It's kind of fair as far as saying Burton C. Bell, the vocalist of this particular album, and Fear Factory for a good portion of their albums within some of the pitches has a number of phrases that just makes particular type ones that have like some good breakthroughs. So it's kind of pitch, despite this not being this full-blown commercial, it has some pitches where it has like some resonance within pitch for us, and it's a good product as to how Fear Factory kind of had their capital, and that's just being able to say it has enough appeal within the aspect to be able to have, despite the fact that these may not be full bound all over it. It's not very commonplace in the pitch that Fear Factory is too often caught on the radio, especially maybe maybe a couple songs off Obsolete pitch like that, but that's probably still to this day their most popular commercial type album, which I think only went gold or something like that. Just some good nice fares here. So yeah, this good cage nut type rumbles, which was kind of a popular type aspect in like the mid '90s, pitch like that. 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Fear, White Zombie, Power Man 5000, some of these type folks like that. Orgy and some of these type pitches. The fares for us and begin towards these banging typeness, good pitch like that. So pretty prolific off here. And the amount of step out on here. The amount of step out off here, pitch like that, definitely take Diva Miss out since that phrase with the pitch behind it, in addition to having like the phrase like your pals along. So it's kind of a company type balance, kind of pitch as far as saying just hosting type fits, or maybe not as much full blown hosting, but it's the phrase that just like accompaniments, meaning paying attention, like I said, start with like the pitch of just like the added type of aspects of like further type focus than pitch as far as saying just the tone where it's not just eye gate. It's not just smoke gaze the whole time. It's just the pitch as far as saying some of these type of products as far as just the aspect to kind of juggling that with just a more kind of lean type aspect. So this album has an emphasis on lean, definitely pitch like that. It's just more of like, not to say like a full blown kind of ass clown of an album to that extent, but just kind of where the barbs are going to be a little bit more than the pitch. It just not. Just kind of has that more UFC and just kind of like roughneck type condition within the pitch as far as just like the product of just good flickering typeness in the aspects as far as just like, yeah, has a nice snarl within the pitch as far as like the product, like the as far as like the lean typeness. But this hit type pitch as far as paying attention like the product. 2 singles off the sound as far as these pitches, I'm paying attention like the phrase as far as getting towards it. Just the aspects as far as just being able to stay within the product of like good healthy amount of appetite with some of these type pitches as far as paying attention like the variety of like going from like backyard type rumbles to cage night type appeals to wrestling kind of bull pit type noise to pals to some of those type pitches just in the heyday of WWF and some of these type pitches like that, since that phrase just pay-per-view type nice pitches like that, since that phrase with amidst the aspect just consistent probably fares like Resident Evil and since that phrase kind of on pitch like that within fashions of back in those particular days, just to pitch some of those type fares good aspects just kind of collecting good nice pitches, also varieties of just some smoke fest. Now it feels kind of more this product's kind of a smoke on here, but it's kind of pitched for saying paying attention like the multiple type phrase going on, the product of keeping pals kind of within the product to like the excitement and not getting too bored and detached within full blown type pitches, and also paying attention to Diva Miss within the product like the tariff type fashions, which is more industrial kind of cage, so just keeping the energy of it kind of going, not to wander, and then to have like the pitch of this, where the energy is definitely feral, but just kind of pitch of paying attention like the aspect of like juggling that without having the jugglings and paying attention like the vibe check on top of that pitches. Just kind of has a consistent stuff, right? But yeah, 10. For most part, like this album within the pitch would be a 10 out of 10, but there is one song out of these 11 off here that I don't recommend, which is an over 9-minute song. It's the pitch. I was listening to that one kind of within the pitch. It has like a ghoulish type aspect amongst the tone as far as saying it's kind of one of those type ones that feels like an altar type song. Some of those type pitches is kind of a melted type altar. Feels like a spectral and melted type altar type tune pitch like that. But the variety as far as talking about that one with some of the pitches, if it had not been over 9 minutes, I probably would have recommended that pretty good. It's a clever type idea pitch like that, but just the execution, how that particular came out, was good in within a sense, but probably just having the attention span to go through like the full blown fray when the song pops up was when the song pops up, some of the pitches may not be as frequent within pitch like that. But I'd say pretty much 9.75 or 9. See, 9.75 album pitch like that. So within the phrase, he had 2 singles off this album, Replica and Dog Day Sunrise, as far as these pitching out. So Replica was a song that had over 35 million plays or 34 million plays on Spotify, pitch like that. Hit type phrase, then Dog Day Sunrise has some hit type feels. Now both these, Dog Day Sunrise has a real catchy hook off. Here's the pitch for us, and this is one that at least charted in Europe as far as those fairs going to happen. And it says within the pitch for us, saying Replica is hitting off here as like a good venue on thaw and appetizer to get towards here. This mist looking tangy, mist definitely looking tangy pitch like that. How many spoonfuls of sugar have you had in you today? As far as this pitch, yeah, I'm definitely. How many spoonfuls of sugar have you had in you today? As far as these pitch, yeah, I'm just paying attention like the variety, just definitely. surprised you have teeth, how jittery you should probably be pitched like that. Just definitely zapped by like particular. Definitely zapped by like the dress to impress, kind of freakum dress type appeal pitch like that. Hit type varieties pitch like that. Definitely a boiling type song on top of that sunset pitch. So just the aspects for us saying some type tones and then pitch as far as saying. It's one of those type ones, just the excitement, just listening to the music's enough to get the excitement going with sunset pitch. It's kind of variety, just kind of marinating, good pitch like that. Sunset price amongst the venue type bang pitch like that. It's just, it has a good pulsating type one sunset pitch as far as just like the variety. Definitely with the product, if you add drinks in on top of that, it's definitely a phrase for us saying just one of these type ones that probably is going to get you tore up pretty quickly. Just paying attention like the variety, just like the excitement. Pretty much, in the fair amongst the songs, the banging type one, but it initiates, has a good type product, it is the spark off type phrase to get into a product where this is a tune that you can listen to, especially Thursday, Friday type appeal of like 5:30, 6:15, Sunset Fair is like the product of it starting to get towards the tear up. Definitely the pitch. It is one of those type ones that's the success in the pitch. It just getting things ignited, pitch like that. So hit that phrase. Now this album definitely has further type carnage, but this makes sense for like this sort of appeal as far as like the pitch kind of happens, not having kind of within the pitch of having to ramp upward into the craziness as far as this pitch goes. So within pitch, some of this album definitely gets a lot more prolific pitch like that, but this is one of those type ones for like, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, early evening type appeal pitch like that. Dog Day Sunrise hitting type one. This is another good nice one for like the product that likes some initial this buzz effect. It's actually surprising amongst this particular product as far as the pairs can happen. Just paying attention like the phrase that some of these type ones, despite the fact that they're kind of underground and more buzzy and the pitch for us, and they have a good understanding just like the product to like radio type meld within pitch like that. These songs didn't chart, but they're not bad songs within pitch as far as like the affability behind being able to catch some airplay. So it's the pitch as far as saying it's good products here. Dog Day Sunrise, like a solid sunset kind of traffic and careen to get towards here as far as this pitch goes. So it's just kind of industrial metal, just type. Some industrial metal type weave along with them pitch like that. I would say kind of pink skies, but it's more within pitch of this red skies, just in a more factored typeness for the shit that you would listen to, and a more excitement type factor for like probably 445 pitch like that. So it's just it's an industrial metal kind of music type song pitch like that. So instead of phrase, the kind of pitch is that excitement factor, but it's kind of pitch is something that's kind of just got done with things Thursday, Wednesday, Friday. So instead of pitch like that, it's kind of Minute Maid pickups from Mexican pitch like that. So instead of phrase, this good nice product to like a pink nice one or one some fruity type flavor. It's real loft. Real lush and puckery pitch like that. Just paint the town red. Definitely get to some of those products. Just some good nice tune to get towards painting the town red. Some stuff products definitely just bullpit kind of craze as far as this pitch can happen. So within the aspect of it here, definitely some bullpit type cray pitch like that. So within the phrase as far as saying just paying attention to the product. Paying attention like the product to some hitting type chorus pitch like that. Sunny Step ones was a good assortment of Sunny Step ones off here. 0-sig. Dog Day Sunrise has a real Apple type one that feels like it could probably have like some underground kind of more techno XM type radio kind of single type appeal pitch like that for like some airplay. Self Bias Resistor is a good nice one for some of those type ones. I want to say Body Hammer has some hit type phrase within some of those type ones as well. So a good pitch like that. It's a good few of these type ones that just have like some sing-songy type ones. Just it kind of has like a very murky kind of robot kind of zombie type of feel. So it's a pitch, the kind of shit to listen towards. It was said, Wikipedia had said that this album, according to the band, was based off the movie Terminator. That's some inspiration they got from this particular album. At least the first one with them pitch like that, but possibly the second one as well. But the pitch, as far as saying paying attention like the variety, as far as some of these type ones, it's kind of product of just listening to like with that factory type of appeal. Just step out type phrase within like the consistency of like militant like brigade and swarm as far as this pitch albums hit type phrase. But the aspects as far as these pitch album, another popular song off this album within these pitches is the title track. Just good nice pitches here. Demanufacture as far as these pitch albums. So talk about this one, you see, like I said, the only song I don't recommend off this album is just the last song here, A Therapy for Pain, which is not a horrible song. It just has the aspect of this, the consistency of the patience to listen towards the pitch like that hit type phrase. It's 9.75 album, but Demanufacture hitting type one's like a highlight cage night kind of factory. Demanufacture is like a hot Demanufacture, the title track's like a highlight cage night factory. Get towards here, just a meaner descent and beautiful people. As far as this first album, this actually came out a little bit before Beautiful People, but still some good nice pitch as far as this first album. It's also it sort of appeals like Descent, one of those type pitches, just the bee swarm kind of bang as far as these pitch jams. So some of that particular type craziness that would be within the factor and within the pitch where you get some of those type ones where it's kind of in some of those type definitely feels ripped out of an action flick with like some fight scenes as far as this pitch count. This is a good, nice phrase. This has some Hollywood type traces about it for like 90s type fare, so definitely some of those type pitches when you think of 90s action type movies, particularly one of which that it reminds me of, even though it's not within the same sort of fray, but it does kind of have like certain type aspects of similarities to like Rumble in the Bronx, those type ones, at least the more city type scenes where it's kind of more amidst like the bonfire typeness, where it's just kind of more like the aspect where they're hitting the bottles that Jackie Chan, some stuff pitch like that. But the phrase for us in some of those type ones is kind of the parking garage type carnage pitch like that. Some stuff phrase. It's more the street thug type gallivant pitch like that. Also reminds of Terminator 2 Judgment Day pitch like that. Like I was saying, good pitches there. But the aspects for us saying self-biased resistor sitting off here is like a militant and attentive kind of game night and long-winded. Self-biased resistors like a militant and attentive. Up within these pitches, you had to say Demanufacture on top of that, just good, nice ballistic type one to kind of cut loose with standard miss on top of that good pitch as far as these varieties. I'm just kind of the aspect just like as the blood starts pumping pitch like this, some of the definite varieties that kind of then with some of these stars seem to whip their hair pretty prolifically pitched like that, like you're trying to get like a beehive out of your hair. So unless a pitch like that, it's kind of varieties for us saying. Self-biased resistors hitting off here is like a militant and attentive kind of game night and long wind stretch get towards your pitch like that. Just wrestling going, have like some Joe for like particular starlets around pitch like that's a hit type phrase kind of product. It's kind of balanced type phrase like I was saying. Sometimes the pitch of having the pals there, also having starlets there with pitch like that. It's kind of varieties. Just cook some coffee for some of the particular starlets, just kind of off to the wayside, not really as much as full bound into with like wrestling or pay-per-view type nice. Just kind of pitches like the juggling, like the goings on, and within the collect for us, this first kind of extra type pitches. Extra type pitches, pizza rolls, sons of pitches like that. Hit that phrase, get some tater tots, garlic bread, sons of pitches like that. Nice products for them pitches. Excellent type varieties, kind of sort of pitch. Get some strawberry swishers going, sons of pitch amongst it. Demanufacture and self-bias resistor goes like a good 1-2 punch as well. The same sort of blood boils pitch like that. This is kind of a long-winded type album within pitch as far as these varieties can have, just kind of the aspects as far as saying some of these type ones, but the aspects as far as just like consistent. It's likelihood, it's definitely pretty good for 1995, just the product is likely going to wear people out with some of these type pitches where it's kind of like you need to take a breather or some of those type pitches amongst it as far as it's supposed to have, but the pitch as far as saying it's not within the pitch of like the aspect of it's more the pitch of like the craze stuff factor that goes along with a good pitch like that. Zero signals hitting off here is like a venue kind of power man. Zero signals like a venue kind of power man 5000 and white zombie kind of moonlight type fair pitch like this. Some of these type phrases appreciate like the fair like outing type phrase getting towards the product of it. Samatas and folks the system pitch like that. How is the week since that fair is at How was the week? First, like that was standard miss, good nice pitches, just some lean white noise as far as these first guys just kind of pitch it, just appreciating like the first like out in the surroundings pitch like that with like the ballistic metal kind of going, so kind of pitch within the aspect for definite metalhead type divas, particular the ballistic of like the carnage going on is pretty soothing within pitch like that. Just paying attention to some of these type ones kind of pitch it. It's the sort of shit that you can fall asleep to, good pitch like that, but definitely in the mode of just kind of random type spells, calling particular diva miss a bitch as far as the first guy. I'm just kind of this place is pretty fun, bitch, as far as the first guy. I'm just pitched like that, but just the variety, just kind of the aspect, just kind of paying attention like the product, this extracurricular typeness is getting towards likes and moonlight type fair, definitely pitch just like prolific typeness. So within fray, this kind of being a more wayside type one within pitch like that is kind of the variety. This boils to like appreciating like the outing type fair within pitch like that. Good nice phrase. It's not quite as much not quite as much a 10 of them like the dance and like the socialize this full bun. Just kind of the pitch of this like the extracurricular type noise. It's like the night starts to kind of thaw out even further pitch like that. It's kind of the brewing type nest. Appreciate like the fair good pitch like that. New breed is hitting off here. It's like a solid molten kind of venue night and relish kind of get towards here. Just some Guinness Phillips. I definitely say get some risotto and a few pitch like that. Get towards some good pasta type fair and other type pitches hit like that. Just kind of you're halfway being a bore face pitch like that. Sunset race. And not within the full blown type sense of just not within a full blown type sense of being too harsh pitch like that, but what's the good news? Bore face as far as this first guy, and this is kind of what keep me up with this. As far as this first guy, just kind of pitch as far as there's a few of these off here within a hosting type bit as far as these first guy. When paying attention to like the product, some of these type ones, kind of product. This is an album within the pitch that has like the hit type variety, but without. It's kind of the hit type nest that there's degrees of like guidance in there as far as those pitch guys. It's not to say full bound like just having the coaching type aspect with them pitch like that, but just the aspect as far as some of these type ones in the pitch as far as saying this kind of product of staying hip with like the particular so within the pitch gave me vibes within the aspect of keeping like the particular flavor of the night going. So that's the pitch kind of where the product of the long-winded kind of pitch where the long-winded type speed comes into play as far as this pitch kind of just kind of the product of this kind of the aspect of he's having like the good ears and the radar within the pitch, just standard particular diva within the aspect, and folks just within sense of products not having like the getting like a flat tire midway through the night as far as this pitch counts, and just kind of refuel type pet since the pitches, go get like a Jones soda since the pitch like that, hit that phrase amongst since the products, other type pitches that just y'all could use some puppy chow pitch like that since hit that phrase. The aspects for saying let's go smoke a vanilla blunt since the pitch like that, hit that price, it's the product. They're going to think I picked you up from Area 51, good pitch like that, hit that phrase for us, and since the baskets within pitches, it's the product for us saying body hammers, the hitting body hammers, the hitting type ones, like a vibing in bullpit / rec room kind of squander, get towards here, just make Totino's pizza, sons that fares, it's good quick toaster oven type phrase pitch like that, some pink lemonade going for like Starlet type fair pitch like that, hit that phrase amongst it, some recent trees kind of get towards this kind of product, like some ketchup type fairs, kind of product, just more pleasant type fair kind of with the aspect. Now for the particular fray, like the industrial metal on this present album within pitch like that, it's kind of more pleasantry, but it's the pitch for us, and that the terabit is actually pretty edge factor on here, so it's this kind of pitch, kind of the product, also paying attention probably within the limit type fair within pitches if like the product, like the aspect like good gray goose is going, so it's a pitch like that, but just hit that phrase. Some of those fairs have like nice sugary kind of pink lemonade, some stuff fairs like that, good pitches amongst possibly something pleasant. Make like a Caesar salad within a phrase if you know how to get towards that pitch like that. Some stuff fairs amongst that. Definitely recent trees pitch like that is some ketchup type set aside for the some ketchup type set aside pitch like that. Flashpoint is hitting off here. It's like a brewing kind of homies loud pack. Get towards here. Just hella coughs. Definitely the product really getting towards some tear up. Roll some smoke type fair pitch like that. It's the product kind of amongst it and quotable as far as what's first gonna happen. Just some good nice fairs on top of that. Switch like the settings as far as these first guys. So kind of with the pitch of like the particular game night and fairs like that is getting too boring. Pitch like that. Get towards the product like some Parkside type fair. Get some splits going with them. Pitch like that. Legality. Some Oreo run type pickups. So kind of the product is some phrase to kind of divvying up the group, selling us a pitch to get into the product, just hit that phrase, just some favorite runs for gal, pitch like that, go and run, get some Oreo pickups, fairs like that, since the pitch, also the product, just like, hey, let's rendezvous at this particular park, get towards like the product, like some good, get towards like some hit kind of bungalow and pitch like that, as far as, get towards like some hit bungalow and pitches like that as far as these first games, excellent type pitches. HK Hunter Killers hitting off here is like a nice shadowy kind of backyard turnip to get towards a good pitch like that. The Smoke Best definitely sends the fairs, definitely get the split type product going. Bonfire type nest and then backyard type right now within pitch. If you have like a particular barrel, something like that, it's kind of product just kind of does give me residential type vibes, pitch like that, sunset price, but it's kind of product not as if it has to be completely out back where bonfires would seemingly only be available. Probably all it takes is like some sort of tin barrel pitch like that, kind of within those phrases, get some bonfires going. S'mores for gal pitch like that, sunset price is story type fits on top of that, whether it's ghost stories or just pitch, just story type fits in general. It's personal is going to get to us within like a gaff type product pitch like that. Hit type phrase for those pitching out just traditional type product to some of those type ones, just like vintage kind of corn and It's like vintage kind of corn and Power Man 5000, Rob Zombie, Sunset Pitches, System of a Down, good pitch like that. As far as those hit type phrase going to happen. Piss Christ is hitting off here as well. Piss Christ, I'm not sure. That's full bunch or how to pronounce that particular one. Pitch like it might be. It's a combined word within. It's a combined word within pitch like that, so it might be Piss Chris, something I'm not. It's a combined word within pitch like that, so I'm not as full sure if it's Piss Chris, Piss Christ, something like that. But the aspects for saying Piss Chris, pitches like that, it's like a swamp kind of cage night, cut loose to get towards here, just banana. It's like a swamp cage night, kind of cut loose bananas to get towards here, good pitch like that. Buzz single definitely gave me some vibes of just kind of. It's like a scratcher kind of white zombie pitch like that. Sounds like very same sort of variety and cadence within like the very what Rob Zombie was kind of getting towards like the early and mid 90s pitch like that. It's kind of a dance fest to get towards here. So pretty similar within the products to like Demanufacture and also like particular fairs of like Dog Day Sunrise pitch like that. One of these more. This is one of those type ones I was saying within like the breakthrough type of field that has like some aspects like some radio type appeal. Piss Christ. Piss Christ, Demanufacture, Dog Day, Sunrise, and Replica are all some good nice ones within those sorts of appeals. So definitely another good shit face type one to kind of get to us with like the Bonanza type, Cage Night type of disc, break free and pitch like that. As far as like the Carnage kind of get to us happening, good pitch like that. Definitely afraid of disc. Definitely dope as Hexy and Diva Mist strung out as far as this pitch comes. A hit that phrase as far as paying attention towards a good nice pitch within variety. So the aspects for saying it's a 9.75 album pitch like that. Social score would probably get. Then afraid it has some good nice songs in the pitch like the radio type appeal, but it's just the pitch for saying whether or not the breakthrough would have crossed over. I feel like Fear Factory has enough complex within the aspect where they have enough notoriety within pitch like that, especially amongst like the industrial type scene. If you fuck with Marilyn Manson, Power Man, White Zombie, some stuff folks like that should go. It's like a good shot in the arm and hand with some stuff once. So the pitch for saying now that it's over 30 years old, about 31 years old, pitch like that, some stuff rises as far as saying paying attention like these hit type appeals, as far as like the aspects kind of the fray. I do kind of question what's popping up in like industrial type clubs pitches like that. It's kind of afraid to just question like the fair of some of these stuff once the pitch as far as for the most part rhythmic kind of rock radio nowadays skips. So for the most part nowadays, minus maybe Cars and Descent, I'd say rhythmic type rock radio skips over like Fear Factory. Was the pitch for us saying this is a Demanufacture is an original trend factor type 1 and an important type 1 within the pitch for us paying attention like the variety as far as what it is. The pitch for us saying between this particular album and Astro Creep 2000 as far as these first album, these are both some whopping type 1s to pay attention to, and like the Rave Club and Cage Night type scene pitch like that was within the variety. Now it is kind of some of that type phrase sans like the concept like the pitch like the overcast kind of this ubiquitous type 1 when you think of one of those type 1s like more one of those complete breakthrough type ones like more human than human, but it still caught pretty good gist like the wind of some of those stuff right that were kind of in that particular scene. So it's pitch so far pitch for us, and I would give the social score of this album. I'm gonna give the social score of this album a 10 out of 10 with them pitch like this. Hit that phrase for us, and was just the aspects as far as just paying attention. There's not really like the crossover type of appeal. It's full balance. The pitch for us, and once you delve deep enough into like the product like the techno and trance and particular cage type appeal, it's really there's a good number of these that have some like appeal. It's probably pretty often if you've been to enough techno type places, you probably heard Dog Day, Sunrise, and Replica. There's like that, possibly Demanufactured title tracks on some ones, but there's some breakthrough type ones. So the number of these type phrases, the pitches some Molten type nights, some backyard type phrase, some just parkside type fair pitch like that, get some pink lemonade and gal system, some type varieties, just step up type fairs going, bar hopping, pub crawls pitch like that, throw some restaurant type throw some garlicky type restaurant type phrase in there on top of that as far as these pitch am within the product, or just Guinness type Phillips and other type pitch to keep the vibe check of it going since the pitch amongst it hit type phrase. Also the product of wrestling type nights since the pitches have some Joe going for standard miss have some Joes going for standard misses, pitches like that as far as those pitch down with the extra Demanufacture type fare, Tekken and Resident Evil going within bullpit type phrase, pitch like that, sunset fries, just the pitch like some cage night type step outs, playing those type ones in the pitch parts like the product like some tarot going within the ballistic typeness, is high octane type energy, pitch like some products, s'mores per gallon like some bonfire typeness within backyard type phrases, something to pitch again to this product, a little bit of traffic type fare within the leftover type phrase. This products are just like a kind of hellish and kind of more molten type aspects like the pitch of just getting towards the product, just zip lining right for the fray, getting towards some terrace. The pitch like that as far as those phrase counts. So hit that phrase as far as getting towards the pitch as far as saying you 10 out of 10 social. So in terms of the future within these pitches, seemingly Fear Factory has not dropped since 2020. Actually, they dropped a hit album in 2021 and they dropped a remix album in 2022. So as far as those first guys, it's been a little bit within those particular spells, but apparently Burton C. Bell is not a part of this band anymore within pitch like that. They have a new vocalist, good pitch like that. As far as those hit up rates going to happen within the pitch, as far as saying, going to get towards some more of these type ones down the road as far as this pitch going to but Capital type album, good pitch like that, but definitely a good staple since that phrase. It was pretty trend setting type one for like mid 90s, along with White Zombie pitch like that. That just had some good cage night type appeals with like some whoppiness and like a long winded type ness.